right, hello, welcome. Hopefully we are working and situated. It looks like it is on my end. It's hard to tell, but all right, moms and dads, if you're out there. So let's talk about one of the most exhausting daily battles, which is partly why I know I'm so exhausted every single night, and that is snack time. So if you are constantly saying, or hearing your toddler say, "Mom, I need a snack. Mom, snack please. Can I have a snack? Snack." You're lucky if you get a please. But if that is you, this live is for you tonight. So I'm Jess, and this is your weekly Toddler Tip Tuesday, and we are talking all about snack requests, the endless snack requests that come in from your toddlers. So I have found that one of the most simplest things is the biggest game changer for us as far as avoiding those constant requests, and also as far as just making it a little bit more manageable for you. And that's just using a snack bin. So if snack time feels very chaotic for you, drop a yes in the comments for us so we know that this applies to you. And hopefully when you're done hearing a little bit about the snack bin, you'll kind of feel like you are able to give your toddler a little bit more independence and gain some control at the same time. And that's what we are talking about tonight. So first we'll just talk a little bit about the snack time struggle. So I know you can picture this with me. You've probably been in this moment many times. You're in the middle of doing something, whether it's laundry, or you're like me, you're trying to do things for work at the same time and quick check for an email and respond to it because you're waiting for it, or you're on the phone with the doctor. I feel like every single time I'm on the phone on hold with the doctor's office, my daughter comes running up for a snack. And the worst, when I finally have 3 minutes, not even 30 seconds really, to just sit and actually grab a few sips of my coffee, immediately my toddler will come running over. "Mom, I'm hungry. Snack. Can I have a snack? I need a snack. I need a snack." And the second you offer something, they change their mind. They no longer want that snack. And you can feel the meltdown looming, and your sanity begins to slip away. Does this sound familiar for anyone? And you just begin to dread the second you hear the word snack from your toddler. So the solution is snack bin. It has been such a game changer in our house. So how it works is you literally just take a small bin, think like dollar store bin, Target bin. I can actually drop a link of mine to an Amazon, just so you can look. I am an affiliate, but you don't need to get anything there. But just so that you can look and see some of the ideas of things that we've actually used in our house, and you can try to find them at the dollar store, Target, Walmart, Five Below, any of those kind of places. And you just get a bin, and you make sure you put it on their level, but you pick overall the snacks that go into the bin, and then they get to pick what snacks they want at snack time. So they feel independent, like they have a choice, but really you're staying in control because you're putting all the snacks in the snack bin. You're deciding what snacks go in there daily and weekly. It also helps to create more of a structured snack time setting, which we'll talk a little bit more in a second. But so you're eliminating some of those snack time power struggles where you're kind of back and forth about whether they can have a snack or not, or what they can actually have for snack because they just had one, and those kind of struggles. So now how you actually step by step do it. Like I said, you're going to get a bin, and you have to make sure that you put it low enough for them to reach. You also have to make sure that you communicate to them, and we'll talk a little bit about the rules in a few minutes, but that it's not an all-day buffet. They cannot just be going in and out because then that defeats the purpose. And you don't want them to kind of be snacking right before meals and stuff, right? That's a big issue. You kind of think of it as this little bin kind of becomes like your toddler-sized tiny toddler pantry, like just for them. It's all pre-approved options that you're 100% okay with. And I suggest getting some type of plastic bin that they can see in. So don't cover it completely with a lid, or use a clear one if it does have a lid, so that they can see what's in it, because it reduces a lot of whining, to be honest, if you do that. But you're going to stock up this bin. You're going to fill it with snacks that you are 100% okay with. Like, you have to make sure that you're okay with them grabbing these snacks, no matter what it is. And that way it's a win-win. You're okay with it, and they're picking a snack of their choice. Some examples of things that we put in our snack bin are like applesauce pouches, dried fruit, whole grain crackers. And if you're not getting prepackaged things, that's fine. You can actually just take like a big box and section it, portion it out into Ziploc bags, things like that. And then if you, depending on the age of your toddler, again, it has to be age appropriate, but things like nuts, you could put some of the like all natural fruit rolls, not like the fruit roll-ups, but there's actually like fruit chew ones that we like to use. So many different things that you could put in your snack bin for your child to choose from. And if you're confident and comfortable once you get used to using a snack bin, you could even have one in the refrigerator. Now, we don't do that because the refrigerator we have has the freezer on the bottom, and so there's no way my toddler could actually reach up into it. But if you have a different setup where you have like 2 side-by-side doors with a refrigerator that goes all the way down, you could, on one of the lower shelves, put things that are cold that your toddler could also have like snack bin in the refrigerator as well. But again, that would just depend on your setup. Now, the rules for the snack bin, you have to make them work for your particular household, what works for you, your kids, and for your schedule. But for us, we use it as a tool, but it has clear boundaries. So what we do is our daughter, has to ask us permission before she can go in. Now, I know you're probably thinking, but they're supposed to stop them from asking you all the time. So part of the problem with your toddler asking you all the time is you're in the middle of something. You then have to get up, go get it, figure out exactly what they want. There's so much more to it, and it becomes a 5 to 10 minute production. This is a quick, they come up to you, they ask you for 30 seconds, and you tell them, yes, it's an okay time, or no, it's not. And then where ours is super low down in our pantry. Our pantry is actually like an open up door and you walk in. So it's like snacks on both, or not snacks, shelves on both sides in the back, and her snacks just like off on the one side. So she can quick go in and get it and come out. But you want to have it in like a place where they can get it. And for us, we do have that rule. She has to ask permission. She can only choose 1 to 2 snacks at a time. And she will tell us, like, before she goes in the closet, now, I know the rule, Mommy, because we've asked her so many times, like, okay, what's the rule? Like, to reinforce it with her. And it does take some practice, but she knows she can grab only 1 or 2 things at a time. It has to be something from her bin. She knows she can't have snacks right before meals, so she doesn't even ask. She's pretty good about it. Sometimes she still will, and sometimes she really is hungry, so I might give her like 3 or 4 like crackers or something to hold her over, but she's pretty good about it. The other rule that we have like really enforced with the snack bin, this is a hard one, you have to stay firm to it, is when a snack is gone, it's gone. And they will whine and they might complain for a little bit, but after a couple of days, they will get the hang of it and it won't be an issue anymore. And you have to make that decision up front if you are going to fill your snack bin every day, or are you going to fill your snack bin for the whole week? I suggest you start smaller and fill it each day. Now, we get up very, very early. We're up before 4:30 in the morning because my daughter and my son both get up very, very early. So I have to be up usually before 5 to make sure I'm up before them. But anyway, I will go down and make sure if it's something I only want her to have 1 of for that day, I'll make sure that there's just 1 of in the snack bin. Also, kind of tying into that, going along with that, is you don't want to create overwhelm. So toddlers get overwhelmed by choice. They want choice, they need choice, they crave it, they want independence. But if you give them too many options, they actually will get overwhelmed and shut down, and it again will start to take too long again. So you kind of want to, at least when you're first starting, limit the options in the snack bin. I suggest no more than just for like what you're going to let them have for the day, and then you can kind of build up. And the way I have mine set up, and we've been doing the snack bin, she's 3.5 for a very long time. I want to say 1.5 years, maybe even longer. But what I've gotten to the point now with her is I can fill up the snack bin for pretty much like 3-4 days, maybe closer to like 4 or 5 days sometimes, depending on the snacks, and it will last throughout the week. That did not happen right away. We built up to that. So my suggestion is, at least when you're first starting, only put enough snacks in for the day. And then you'll see as you get used to it, your toddler gets used to it, it becomes like a scheduled, normal part of their day going to get out of the snack bin. And you'll be able to put snacks in there that will last you for quite a few days. So you're not having to fill it up as often. But by doing all of this, and teaching them that when it's gone for the day. Stick with it, where it will start to work. It teaches them patience. It teaches them decision making. They learn about resource management. Obviously, they don't really know what that is, but they're learning it even though they don't know what it is. And it's all while keeping your snack time more calm and controlled throughout the day. So I feel like it's definitely worth kind of setting those rules in place and constantly reiterating them, go over them with your toddler. Very important. So a couple pro tips for you. Like I said, start small, just a few items as you need them, and restock as you need. Rotate your snacks to keep it exciting. Just like you may not like to eat the same thing every single day, they may not. So I would definitely keep snacks on hand to interchange throughout the week so they're not getting very bored and eating the same snacks all the time. Also, especially if you're trying to introduce new foods, this is a good way to start to do that. But you want to have safe snacks you know they're going to like and eat in there with anything new you're introducing. So definitely keep that in mind. Use portion control. Definitely the small little snack bags if you want to fill it with a couple crackers, goldfish, whatever it is that you're using to kind of make sure that they're not going overboard and eating too much. The little containers, I don't know if it depends on the age, but my toddler, sometimes she can pop the lids off, depends on the Tupperware containers, and sometimes she can't. So it would depend on what you have, but you could even use like little Tupperware containers. And then just make sure that you are constantly celebrating every single little tiny positive bit of reinforcement you can use when they make a good choice from their snack bin will go a long way. My daughter's 3.5, and she's still like, if we clap for her, it's like the greatest thing in the world. Like her life is wonderful in that moment. Her face lights up. She's so excited, and she's more likely to pick a better snack choice the next time she goes into her snack bin. So again, celebrate the wins. So now, questions that came up. So as you may or may not know, depending if you've seen, but this Toddler Tip Tuesday always stems from a blog post of mine, and I always make a post on social media. So I've gotten questions either from email subscribers, people who saw the blog post, or people who saw me post on it on socials this morning. So I have a couple questions already. And of course, this is your question answer period too. So if you have a snack bin question and answer period, or answer question that you want answered during this time period, you can drop it in the comments, and I will try to answer it best I can right now for you. But I do have, I think, 4 or 5 already pulled from email and socials that I'll quick go over, and then you again can drop any in the comments that you have, and we'll see where this takes us. So one of the first questions I immediately got an email this morning was, what if my toddler eats every single thing in the snack bin at once? So that's what I was talking about. Only put enough in there for the day to start until you build up to over a couple days. But boundaries are so important. You kind of have to really lay down, like think about it before you start this. Like take a day and think about what's realistic. What are your goals? What do you want to have as your rules for the snack bin? And go over them with your toddler, like in their terms, obviously, in language they can understand, and like run through it with them. But once you set those boundaries and stick to them, that the snack bin's not an all-day buffet, it's a controlled choice system for you and them, it really does start to work. It takes a couple days, but I promise you, if you stick with it, it works. So in our house, like I said earlier, the snack bin happens when she asks. She has to ask us, and we have to say yes for her to go access her snack bin. And again, that alleviates me having to stop what I'm doing, get up, especially with the baby. Like it has been such a blessing. We started way before we had our son, but it has been such a blessing having it. So she just has to quick come over, say please. We do make her say please. Otherwise, sometimes I just ignore and look at her, and I'm like, and she goes, please. But you definitely want to set those rules ahead of time. Stick to them, stick to those boundaries, and it will just become a normal part of the routine, and they will thrive, and the snack bin will become a game changer for you. So I promise you, they will not eat everything out of the bin at once. If you have those boundaries, you set them in place ahead of time, and only stock your bin with enough for the one day to start. And then eventually be able to do it for 2 days and 3 days. And they will be in such a routine by that point, they will not be eating a buffet all day, I promise. You just need to lay that groundwork. A second question I had was, how do I get my toddler to actually choose snacks from the bin instead of demanding something else? Now, at first, they might demand something else. That's where you want to put a safe food in there, so they have one option. At least you know they're going to pick. And depending on how many times you have your toddler snack throughout the day, you might need a couple safe options in there. But toddlers thrive on consistency. That is like their ticket to life. They need consistency. So if they will adapt, so the more you keep doing this, the more you stick to the rules, they're going to start to realize, I can only have snacks that are in the snack bin. And they're going to stop digging in their heels because they're hungry. I mean, don't let them starve, but I know you'd never do that, but that's why you have a safe option in there for them. But they will pick up on it. But let's say they do refuse in the moment. Like, here's just something simple you could say that you could quickly say to them, these are your choices for today. You can pick from whatever is in the snack bin. And if they still refuse, it's a learning process. Don't worry. Just say to them, okay, well, we can try it in, 10 more minutes, and maybe you'll want something from your snack bin then. And eventually they're going to learn that you're not giving in, and that endless negotiation is going to stop. You just have to put your foot down and be firm with your boundaries. That's like the ticket to making the snack bin work. Another question I got was, this was a good one. We haven't had this problem yet, but I imagine it would be a problem for many people. So how do I make this work with multiple kids of different ages? So our son is 8 months, so he is not in snack bin. We can barely get him to eat his food. So if you have kids with different needs, different, whatever might be their different ages, or like in our case, this would be an issue actually later, because our son cannot have anything with soy or cow's milk protein, so they would have to have different snacks. But what you can do is you can actually have 2 different bins. You can have them labeled, especially if you have older children who are going to be able to read. They'll know what their bins are. But if they can't, you can color code their bins and let them know which bins are theirs. You can put them at different heights, so depending on their reach. So you kind of have to test it out and say. You could also put a locking lid. So if it's a kid that would be able to, an older kid that would be able to unlock, they would have the one with the locking lid. So you don't have to worry about the younger one getting into it. Color coding was another one. Dietary restrictions, I mentioned them. I'm trying to think of anything else I may have wanted to mention. You could have the kind of bins that actually stack on each other. So you could actually have 2 different bins, like the older one, they have the stackable bins, and actually in the Amazon link I mentioned earlier, but I've seen them at Target. I think I've seen them at the dollar store. They kind of interlock into each other. So you could have like a 2-tier bins. You're not taking up too much room. So they each have their own bin. You could do it that way too. Those are just some quick ideas to try to tackle that if that does come up. The tantrum, this came up. 2 different people asked, basically, this wasn't worded exactly the same for both of them, but what if my toddler refuses to eat and then throws a full-blown tantrum? They might the first time, and I'm really sorry. Hopefully they don't. But that's part of the learning process, and I was actually just working on an article for something else, and you do have to let kids, unfortunately, have tantrums. I used to get roped into that. If she doesn't have a tantrum, I'm a good mom. There's nothing to do with her, or she's perfect. They need to learn how to regulate their emotions, and they need to learn how to navigate situations that are uncomfortable, where they're upset and things aren't going their way. This is going to be one of those times. So hopefully it's not a huge meltdown. If it is, just stay calm, breathe, encourage them to take a deep breath. They're going to test boundaries, especially when this is your first introducing the snack bin. And if they flat out refuse, you just have to hold your ground. But again, make sure you have those safe options in there for them. But you can always say, if you don't want to eat anything now, we can try again later. And that's it. And if they are on the ground kicking and screaming, just walk away for a minute. As long as they're in a safe place, just walk away, let them calm down. Try again later. Just stay consistent. Set those boundaries and stay consistent. The moment you cave in and offer them something else, they're learning that their tantrum means they're going to get a new snack option of whatever they want. And this whole system goes out the window. So stay firm. Keep your boundaries. Keep your safe snacks in there so they have something. And one last question I got was, how do I keep it exciting? So aside from just rotating the snacks, though, I think they mean like just the novelty of going in and not having their own bin. And I get it. That could wear off pretty easily. But toddlers do love predictability. So don't think that that'll happen too soon. But what could happen is, so you could try to, in addition to rotating through their favorite snacks and keeping, different options like that in there, one thing you could do is you could have like 2 or 3 different bins that you rotate through. And maybe like 1 week of the month is like a special week where they can earn like a special bin that they get to pick out of for that particular week. If you pick bins that have like solid I mean, you pick a clear bin like we talked about earlier, but have solid sides. I've seen like basket type ones, but they could even earn stickers, and they could decorate it with stickers. That's something to keep it new and interesting. You could, if you have a white bin, you could have them draw on it with dry erase markers, and then periodically, you know, go through and wipe it off, and then they can draw on it again. Different things you could do to kind of keep the novelty and the interest in it going, to kind of change up the snack bin a little bit. And I just thought of something with saying that if you can, you do not have to, but you might want to write the word snack on it, or even put it on a poster and an index card and tape it on it, only because I come from a literacy background. I'm actually a reading specialist and special education teacher, and reading and literacy are like very near and dear to my heart. And when I was writing my thesis way back when and had to prove it, one of the things we talked about was kids learn to read the world first before they actually learn to read. So toddlers are usually, they're not reading, some might be, or might recognize letters and stuff. But when they learn to read the world, so like your child knows a box of Cheerios, it says Cheerios, they're reading the world. They don't really know that says Cheerios, but they do know it says Cheerios. It's kind of hard to explain. So if you put the word snack on your snack bin, they're going to start seeing the word snack, and that's going to become a word that they're going to start to recognize and know, or some letters from it, especially since this is something they're going to be using and going into multiple times a day. So if you can, make sure that you label it somehow, or we actually have bins that like snack and books for her book bins. And again, I'll drop that Amazon link so you can get some ideas of what I'm talking about. And again, you don't have to get it from Amazon, go to Target, whatever, but just try to put the word on there, because since they're going into it, it's good to start kind of some of those pre-literacy skills, we'll call them, to get them making those connections so they're reading the world a little bit. But I believe that was the last question I had, and we are way over what I thought we'd be. I try to keep it 15-20 minutes, so I'm so sorry. So if you hung in there this whole time, thank you so much. And if you joined Lee, I always post the replay on my Instagram handle, so you can get it there, and I will drop the links in the comments with the replay. I think I might actually be able to drop them in right now. I'm not even sure. I'm going to try real quick, but before I close it out. But if not, I will definitely post them in the replay. But hopefully you learned something, got some nugget of wisdom, or you're going to go and you're going to try this snack bin out. I hope so. It has truly been a game changer for us. And thank you so much for joining us. I hope this brings some peace to your snack time. And make sure you join me here each week at 8 p.m. I know it's late, but I gotta wait for the kiddos to go to bed. But we are here on Instagram talking about our tips for toddlers every week. So hope to see you next week. Thanks again for joining us. See you next week. Bye.